In exercise 1, we really have to start dealing with shifting. And the idea of shifting is changing position on the fretboard. In this case, we're sticking to string 1, and our first shift is after the first 3 notes. We have this E, F, G, and then we shift up A, B, C. Now, shifting up in this kind of context is not so difficult because we can keep what's called a guide finger. So E, F, G, and now I just keep my index finger on the string, and I don't have to worry about any sort of lifting. I don't have to worry about losing contact and getting lost. So it's a very safe type of shift. However, at one point we have to move down and it's a little more exposed. Let's look at measure 2. Here we have a guide finger as well. We can keep our index finger, and then 2 comes down, but 1 never has to come off the string. So that is relatively easy. However, going into the last measure, we've got this E, D, C, B, A, and he recommends using the pinky for that shift. Now this fingering, this is really for the purpose of learning, so I wouldn't sweat perfecting this if this is your first exposure to this. It's a lot to take in, learning the notes and finding all these frets, and also mastering shifting. So I would try to take on these things separately and create simple exercises to practice your shifting. But for this context, let's look at a little bit of shifting technique. If you need to get from here with your index finger on fret 10, and then you need to get your pinky to C, that's a finger crossing. And what I mean by that is you have a finger here, and this finger needs to get further up that string. It's a little bit of a dilemma, right? Well, one thing you can do is you can practice the exact same engagement without actually shifting. What I mean is, you're going to still have your hand in a position like this, right? There's no change in your rotation or anything like that. And you're not going to need to collapse your hand or expand your hand. So from here, we can say, okay, same with index finger to pinky. 1 to 4. Okay, I can do this shift, which is really a 0 shift. Now, can I do the same thing, but only one position? But I would be intentional. You're not collapsing. You're not making your hand smaller. You're shifting your hand. So I'm at position 10 to position 9. 10, 9, 10, 9. And this is going to teach your pinky to still make that same movement that's needed. However, it's going to learn how to do that while trusting your pointer finger, which is kind of guiding the motion. So you can, of course, by extension, take this to position 8, and so on, until you can reach this shift that we need for our current piece of music. So that's a taste of shifting. If you want to learn more about shifting, I highly recommend Jorge Caballero, who has over 10 types of shifts. I suspect it's closer to 20, but there is a shift for every situation, and mastering the art of shifting is really a matter of figuring out how to securely get from one place to another, which is incredibly important as we get deeper into guitar technique. We need to have a secure technique and not a technique where we just hope we hit it, right? We have to have something that we trust. And the way we develop that is by developing practical solutions to the many unusual and complex problems that get involved with getting our fingers in the right place at the right time.